joking. I know many of you have been getting in touch with us, but before we go over to the phone lines, and of course to our guest in the studio, Karen Greenshields has been out with, wait for it, Guruk rockers Spinal Rap, who've given Burns a 21st century makeover. Let's go.
It's a fairly unremarkable doorway on Guruk's main street, but deep within the bowels of this building, work is in hand to revamp the collected works of Robert Burns and give him some contemporary spin.
Exactly.
These musicians wanted to produce a tribute album to Rabbie Burns, but they knew that to be a commercial success, the peasant poet's verses would need a sympathetic makeover.
Now whistling winds and slaughtering guns bring autumn's pleasant weather.
And so far, so good. These modern melodies can surely only delight traditional Burns fans. But then there's modern, and there's modern.
Sneaky town, timorous beastie. I want a planet in my breasty. But I'm to run away so hasty.
Burns is the best because he's the original. You get a lot of hip-hop artists these days proclaiming to be poets. He's the original poet as far as Scotland's concerned.
I'm truly sorry, man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion.
All of the artists featured on the tribute CD will appear in Guruk's Gamble Halls on Saturday night. So, good luck, boys. Or should I say, yow, bang up for that gig.
Yo, Karen, that was great.
That was brilliant.
Well, what do the guests think here? In the studio, Murdo Morrison from the Burns Federation, and welcome also to Des Clark, Breakfast DJ with Beat 106. Welcome to you both.
Hi there.
Murdo, that was a brave attempt to try and update Burns and make it relevant for us today. But isn't the sad truth that really he's irrelevant to modern Scots?
No, I wouldn't accept that at all, particularly when every year the Burns Federation have 165,000 school children going in for the schools competition. So that's not irrelevant, and it's a growing number. And listening to that rap music there, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it.
Now, Des, you're not against Burns per se, but I'm going to put it to you, he's a cultural phenomenon. He's beyond criticism, but he's been translated into 50 languages. The Russians love him, the Chinese love him. I mean, he's survived 200 years. He's got to be doing something right.
He's got to be, but, you know, the way I look at it, Last of the Summer Wine was great when it started, but, you know, after 40 years of seeing 3 pensioners in a bath, it's time to move on, and the officers come in, and it's just like Rabbie Burns, fantastic in his day, but it's time to be updated. I love the Spinal Rap thing.
So what would you do? How would you change things?
I would have the Spinal Rap guys at the Burns suppers. Would you like that? You know, them kind of talking and coming on, some kind of Ali G character.
Updating
maybe?
the Burns suppers, what do you think? Is that the key to it?
I wouldn't think that's the key to it, because I think the Burns suppers, by and large, are very, very successful. There's one here in Glasgow with 1,000 people, and that grows every year as well. So let's not change anything that's working exceptionally well, not just in Glasgow, but all over the world.
Well, let's see what you think. Loads of calls and texts. You really like to talk about this one. Leslie Ann from